7 celebrity kids who embarrassed their famous parents. Caroline Giuliani. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani made a name for himself as a tough-as-nails prosecutor who famously targeted the mob's money in an attempt to take down the 5 major families who controlled wrongdoing in the city. Imagine how he must have felt when his daughter Caroline was detained in 2010 for shoplifting cosmetics valued at about $100, given his reputation for law and order. Caroline was sentenced to 1 day of community service, which she had to spend scrubbing floors and cleaning restrooms at a city garage, for her apparently minor offense. And Rudy, who has never previously seemed to be at a loss for words no matter what the subject, declined to comment on his daughter's offense. His silence is perhaps the loudest statement of embarrassment he could have possibly made. Christian Brando. Marlon Brando's wild child and eldest of 9 known children, Christian, easily takes the cake in the disgrace department. As a high school dropout who used substances and was perpetually unemployed, Christian Brando pushed the dark side of being a celebrity kid to its furthest limit. But then it got seriously twisted. On May 16, 1990, at Marlon's Hollywood Hills residence, Christian Brando injured Dag Drolet, the boyfriend of his sister Cheyenne. According to reports, Christian was protecting his sister when she called him for assistance and said her boyfriend had hit her. Christian allegedly inadvertently shot Drolet after a struggle, though the specifics are sketchy. Drolet wasn't in a combat stance, as evidenced by the fact that he was shot in the back of the head while holding a TV remote and some smoke. Nick Hogan. Nick Hogan, the son of former wrestling champion Hulk Hogan, purportedly caused a terrible drunken driving accident that left his friend John Graziano with disabling, lifelong injuries. This brought the Hogan family, who were then reality stars, even more attention. When Hogan lost control of his vehicle and crashed into a tree, he was drag racing another friend. Hulk Hogan fell into profound despair as a result of his fatally careless choice, which occurred around the same time as his divorce from his wife. At one point, he even considered self-harm. Fortunately, Hulkster bounced back and went on to survive another public scandal. But Nick's friend still lives with the consequences of their poor decision to drive that night. Chelsea Belle O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell's daughter Chelsea has thrown so much shade at Rosie in the press, that it would make Donald Trump's hair spin. Chelsea claimed that her mother, who had publicly reported her as a runaway, had actually ejected her from the house. According to Chelsea, her mother now spends most of her time crafting and consuming stuff in a separate house she purchased just for her leisure time. Rosie has been neglectful of her children, according to Chelsea, and she was pretty much raised by nannies. After settling their disagreements, the two made a public appearance together in the summer of 2016. Nicole Buffett. Billionaire Warren Buffett's thoughts regarding his wealth are well known. He famously still lives in the Omaha, Nebraska, house that he purchased in 1958, drives modest cars, and has pledged to give away 99% of his fortune to philanthropic causes. And Buffett's heirs are the ones who suffer the most from his financially conservative mindset. Nicole Buffett, the adopted daughter of Warren's son Peter, made an appearance on the 1% documentary, and disclosed that the extremely wealthy investor had only promised to cover his grandchildren's college costs and nothing more. Grandpa Buffett sent Nicole a harsh letter informing her that she was never even an actual member of his family in response to her decision to feature in the film. Oliver Hudson. In 2015, Kate Hudson's lesser-known brother, Scream Queens star Oliver Hudson, posted a throwback Instagram photo of himself, Kate, and their biological father, Bill Hudson, to celebrate Father's Day, but there was a catch. Oliver captioned the image, "Happy Abandonment Day." That was essentially the final nail in Bill's relationship with Oliver and Kate when he replied, quote, "I say to them now, I set you free. Although I was born with 5 children, I now view myself as the parent of 3. Oliver and Kate are no longer identifiable as mine. To me, both he and Kate have perished. Even though they are still alive, I am grieving their loss." Quote completed. Of course, Bill wasn't perfect either, which is why Oliver was first posted. When Kate was just 13 years old, Bill apparently declined custody of the siblings in favor of his new family. Chet Hanks. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson have 2 sons, but only one of them is a rapper who goes by the name Chet Hayes, aka Chet Hanks. In reality, he's Chester Marlon Hanks, the son of one of the most recognizable celebrities in the world. He has regularly used racial insults on Instagram, sued his parents for a vehicle accident he allegedly caused, threatened to hurt Howard Stern physically, and developed a substance addiction despite this. Fortunately for the entire Hanks family, Chet has since entered rehab and has openly praised his father for sharing his experience of addiction recovery with the public in an effort to encourage others to do the same.